Hey everyone, and welcome back. Thinking about a big home project here in the Twin Cities, maybe a new roof or siding.
Or even those windows you've been putting off forever.
Exactly. So you've probably heard of Evergreen Construction. I mean, they're all over the place.
Yeah, they really are.
We did a deep dive into their company podcast and all their marketing materials to see what they're all about.
The Twin Cities are tough on a house.
Oh, tell me about it.
All that snow and the hail, the sun.
Yeah,
Finding a reliable contractor is key, and Evergreen has been around for over 2 decades.
22 years.
22 years, yeah, in this business, especially in Minnesota.
Yeah,
That says a lot about their ability to weather the storms, so to speak.
I love that. So their tagline is all about referrals. We haven't done our job unless we've earned your referral. But how do they actually back that up?
That's the question, isn't it? It's easy to say you prioritize customer satisfaction, but what are the concrete steps they take?
Right.
We'll have to dig into that. Speaking of experience, let's meet the team behind Evergreen. We've got Joe Howes, the founder.
Okay.
He brings over 22 years of experience to the table.
You know what else impressed me about their team? Their production manager, Antti Laaksonen, used to be a professional hockey player. He even played for the Minnesota Wild.
Wow.
Think about the precision and teamwork needed in pro hockey.
Absolutely.
Now, imagine that applied to your roofing project.
That's a great point. That background could definitely bring a unique perspective to project management.
For sure.
Discipline, teamwork, attention to detail, those are all qualities you want in someone overseeing your home renovation.
Absolutely.
And it's not just Auntie, they've also been Jen handling the books, Critica's focusing on marketing and operations.
Okay.
And Connor, a project lead who's spent time in the Army and the solar industry.
Like a dream team assembled specifically for your home. It makes you wonder, what kind of work do they actually specialize in?
Well, they mainly focus on roofing, siding, windows, and gutters.
Gotcha.
Basically everything you need to protect and beautify your home's exterior.
Makes sense.
And given how harsh Minnesota winters can be, that expertise is crucial. Think about those hailstorms we get.
Oh, yeah.
You want someone who knows how to handle that kind of damage.
Right. And they specifically mentioned storm restoration on their website. What exactly does that entail?
Storm restoration means they can handle everything from emergency repairs to working with your insurance company on claims.
Oh, wow.
It takes a lot of the stress out of dealing with those unfortunate events.
That's a huge relief, especially when you're dealing with something as important as your home.
Absolutely. So they've got the experience, the team, and they handle those Minnesota-specific challenges.
They do.
But is that enough? What are your top priorities when choosing a contractor?
That's a great question. Reliability, transparency, communication. What else should we be considering here?
These are all important factors. We should also consider how Evergreen stays up to date with the latest technologies and industry practices.
It's one thing to have 22 years of experience, but it's another to stay ahead of the curve. What have they done recently to innovate? We'll have to keep that in mind as we learn more. It's interesting that they specifically mention using CertainTeed roofing products in their podcast. Have you worked with those before?
I have, yeah, and they're known for their quality and durability. CertainTeed also offers some pretty robust warranties, which is a good sign.
Okay.
It suggests that Evergreen is using materials that are meant to last.
That makes me think about their tagline again. We haven't done our job unless we've earned your referral. They're clearly thinking long-term, not just about finishing the immediate job.
Right, they're investing in building a reputation for reliability, and from a homeowner's perspective, a good warranty can provide peace of mind, especially in a place like Minnesota where your roof takes a beating.
Speaking of Minnesota, I remember when I had my siding replaced a few years back. It was such a hassle finding a contractor who really understood how to deal with our crazy temperature swings.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want siding that's going to warp or crack in a few years.
Absolutely, and that's where Evergreen's focus on local expertise comes in. They understand the specific challenges of building and renovating in the Twin Cities. That's a big advantage.
So we've talked about their experience, their team, their choice of materials, and their focus on customer satisfaction. What stands out to you about Evergreen so far?
For me, it's the combination of experience and that customer-centric approach. They've been around long enough to have seen it all, and they seem genuinely committed to making their clients happy. But I'd still want to know more about their process. How do they handle communication? What kind of guarantees do they offer?
Those are great questions. Sometimes dealing with contractors can feel like pulling teeth. You're never quite sure what's going on, and communication can be a nightmare.
Exactly. And that's why transparency is so important. I'd want to know how Evergreen keeps their clients informed throughout the project. Do they provide regular updates? Do they have a system for addressing concerns?
It's like you're reading my mind. I'd also want to know about their project management style. Do they have a dedicated project manager who oversees everything? or is it more of a free-for-all?
That's a crucial question. A good project manager can make all the difference in ensuring things run smoothly and on schedule. Especially with a bigger renovation, you want someone who's keeping everyone on track and addressing any issues that come up.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about Evergreen's mission, their experience, their team, their services, their choice of materials, and even how they approach customer communication and project management. What's the one thing you think potential clients should keep in mind?
I would say don't just take their word for it. Do your research, check out their website, look at their reviews, and maybe even try to find examples of their work online.
That's great advice. And, in the age of social media, it's easier than ever to get a sense of a company's reputation. Look them up on Facebook, Instagram, check out their Google reviews. You can learn a lot from what other people are saying.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to ask for references. A reputable contractor should be happy to connect you with past clients who can speak to their experience.
It's your home, it's a big investment, and you deserve to feel confident in the people you're hiring. Speaking of feeling confident, what advice would you give to someone who's on the fence about reaching out to Evergreen? Should they schedule a consultation?
Absolutely. A consultation is a great way to get a feel for the company and see if they're a good fit for you. Plus, it's an opportunity to ask those important questions we've been discussing.
And remember, a good contractor won't pressure you into anything. They'll understand that you need time to make an informed decision. It's about building trust and a good working relationship.
It's like dating. You wouldn't messy someone after the first date. Take your time, ask questions, and see if there's a spark.
That's a great analogy. So before we wrap up, I want to leave our listener with one final thought to consider. So think back to Evergreen's commitment to earning referrals. How does that philosophy potentially benefit you as a homeowner beyond just the quality of work?
That's an interesting point. It suggests that they're not just focused on the immediate transaction,
Right.
but on building long-term relationships with their clients.
Exactly. And if they're confident enough in their work to believe they'll earn referrals, that says a lot about their commitment to customer satisfaction.
It also means they're probably invested in their community. They're not just some fly-by-night operation.
Right.
They're here to stay and build a solid reputation.
It's like they're saying, we're your neighbors and we're here to take care of your home as if it were our own.
And that's a powerful message, especially in an industry that sometimes gets a bad rap for, less than stellar customer service.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here today. We've talked about Evergreen's mission, their experience, their unique team, their focus on quality materials, and even their approach to customer communication and project management. But the best way to truly know if Evergreen is the right fit for your project is to reach out and have a conversation with them. What questions would you ask them based on what you've learned today?
That's the key takeaway here. Don't just rely on our insights. Take this information, do your own research, and ask those tough questions.
And remember, there are no dumb questions when it comes to something as important as your home. You deserve to feel comfortable and confident in the people you're hiring.
Exactly. This is a big decision. It's an investment in your home and your peace of mind. So take your time, gather information, and trust your gut.
We hope this deep dive into evergreen construction has given you a good starting point for your research.
Remember, knowledge is power. And when it comes to home renovations, being informed can save you time, money, and a whole lot of stress.
Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.